Welcome everyone to the Too Long Don't Listen podcast. I'm Senda, I'm your host, and today I am very happy to welcome Quentin Goumi. Am I saying it right?
You are saying it right. Emphasize the French accent. Thank
Of
you.
course. How are you doing?
I'm great. Well, I'm very honored to be on the podcast. You've definitely been making some noise in the space, and very glad that we finally made the time to make this happen.
I'm very happy to have you here, Quentin, because you are the first growth marketer that I have on this podcast. So I have a short intro for you just to set the tone for the conversation that I'm going to go ahead and read because I did not memorize your expertise and experience, but I think it's going to be a nice intro for us. So Quentin Goumi, growth marketing lead at Instant, an AI-powered email and retargeted platform for e-commerce brands. Before that, you were at Superbolt, a D2C growth agency where you worked across dozens of brands. And before that, you were at HubSpot. So you have an incredible journey. You studied financial economics at Columbia. And this explains a lot about how you think about marketing. We're going to dive into all of this. I think you also have strong opinions about how D2C brands should be doing growth marketing. We're also going to be talking about that. All of this to say welcome and thank you for being on the show. Anything I missed? Anything you want to add to your intro?
No, that's fantastic. You did your research, and excited for this one. Definitely a pivot for a product marketing audience. They'll
Yeah,
definitely call out all of the perfectionism we don't implement on the growth marketing side, but happy to be here.
I love that. I love this because this episode is actually pretty meaningful to me. We're getting closer to the growth team at Vibe. So we're merging marketing and growth because we see the best efficiencies there. Product marketing is shipping, messaging, positioning, but at the end of the day, the growth team is amplifying all of that. So I think you're the perfect guest for today's episode. You went from the agency life at Superbolt to an in-house at Instant. So I'm just curious, what changes when you're building for one brand versus 10?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely started with having so many brands across my portfolio. And I think looking back, if you're going to go into growth marketing, that's just the best way to start your career because you're able to grasp the limitations and the insights of like, okay, this campaign is going to work only for fashion brands versus this campaign is going to crush across the entire board. This is the best way to get your CPA down, your CAC lower, and this is how you should approach meta. This is how you should approach different funnels. And I think the moment I started having more of that experience of, okay, new skincare brand, okay, we have the full approach we're going to do. Let's try it out. This is their AOV. This is their goals. Let's launch the process. And we got to a point where it's like, okay, Black Friday, big season, another record for a brand. And I was like, well, agency life is great. You get to build pretty incredible launch campaigns and acquisition campaigns for brands. But then you're like, well, what part of you are? What part of the success are you really driving? And you get all of that impact from driving the growth, but you don't have an impact on everything else that is like the landing pages or the campaigns, the offers, etc. And so you're like, always part of the success and driving the success, but not really fully part of like a brand story. And I think I really wanted to get to a place where, oh, this is the full ownership of the growth marketing funnel. And this is the story I'm 100% in. And this is what I'm going to be doing.
So I'm curious to ask you about how you perceive growth and marketing being one. And the best way to understand that is by asking you what exactly do you measure when you're assessing the performance of your team and your efforts? What are the metrics that you're looking at?
Yeah, I think a lot of D2C brands and a lot of growth brands overall, whether that's B2B SaaS or not, are focused on the goal of, okay, let's grow. Let's get more users in the door, let's get more purchases. And the number one metric that is always going to be measured against for growth marketing is how many deals or how many buyers are you getting from those initiatives? And the problem that you're kind of broaching with like the difference between marketing and growth is, okay, well, is that simply generated from ads on Meta or is that coming from the entire marketing imperatives you're driving? And to solve that problem and keep like marketing as efficient as possible, really it's about the combination of, okay, how many people are you actually reaching? Are these people actually qualified? Are they taking action on your site? That doesn't mean site traffic campaigns. That means, are they engaging with their content? Are they staying on the site? Are they taking action? Are they coming back over and over? Are they engaging with your ads? And then from there, okay, like these are the people that are taking action. These are the campaigns that are driving them to take action. But this is the entire funnel of, from the moment we get someone in the door to the moment we get them to come back, how are we getting to making this sustainable? Growth marketing is too many times like, oh, let's just run retargeting ads for the people that visit our website and let's just double the budget until it breaks and it never works after.
Do you want to tell us more about like the different kinds of initiatives you're working on, and maybe we can focus on what you're doing at Instant? You can tell us more about what problems you're solving, and what kind of solution you're shipping.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I mean, having been on the D2C side for so many years, the biggest problem I always had to answer to when it was founders or CEOs or any marketing director asking like, okay, well, we have millions of people visiting our website. Why
Mm.
is there only 2% of these people actually converting? And that's the biggest pain point. Like one of the biggest solves in e-commerce a few years ago was one-click checkout. That was the single biggest change a website could make, from increasing that conversion rate from 1 to 3 to 4. But beyond that, there hasn't been that much innovation since. Like the market is so built in e-commerce in the US where it's like it's so competitive. You got to get more and more of your people to visit your website. You're spending more and more money on Meta to drive traffic. And from the moment you do, most of these people drop off and never visit your site again. And the biggest pain point that Instant identified was, okay, well, a lot of these people that are dropping off never get a retargeting email. That's because you don't remember them the moment they opt in, like cookies expire. That's also because the moment you do send them an email, those emails are have been the same for like more than like 15 years. It's like, oh, you left something in your cart, and no wonder that sending the same generic email to someone doesn't really convert. And Instant really took the approach of like, okay, we're going to change the way we remember people, and we're going to change the way we send them messages, and we're going to make it incredibly personalized so that it's actually helping them rather than spamming their inbox. And I think a lot of the work on the marketing team has been, okay, this is an entirely new product. How do we educate D2C brands about that? How do
Mm.
we get them to actually believe the results and the insane value we're driving? Everyone can boast that they're driving like double digit, free triple digit ROIs. Like, is it actually real? Can they trust it? And the moment they do, like, how do we get them to believe in the product and try it out?
So I have a bit of a challenging question for you.
Go for it.
So it's, you know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to ask you about AI. So AI marketing, and more specifically email marketing, is a very crowded claim right now. For instance, what does AI actually mean? Like, how do you guys pitch it? And what is the value proposition that you're offering with AI?
You know what? I actually don't think AI is so crowded in the email space. I think it is on the B2B SaaS space where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, if you're a B2B company, this is going to go for your emails, this is going to automate your outbound, etc. When I look at e-commerce today, it's really staggering to see like how many brands just haven't updated their emails since like 12 months from now or
Yeah.
like 18 months ago. And it's like they're recommending products that are no longer on their site, or it's like very generic messaging. And so like the way AI comes into all of this is, okay, we want to make sure that brands are generating more money from retention. What does that mean? It means setting them up with like, okay, retention marketing is very codified. If you're a skincare brand, your AOV is 60 and you have a subscription business, the retention emails you're going to be sending across like abandoned cart, abandoned checkout are probably be pretty simple and pretty standardized for that industry on what we know works best. It's not like growth marketing where it's like it's more of a craft of like what's going to resonate and how do you pierce and market. And the moment you have these really strong templates in place, how do you leverage that personalization aspect, which is the AI of, okay, well, everyone can sense you left this in your cart, or like, oh, your product is coming to expiration, buy it again. But who can really understand that maybe yesterday this shopper was browsing for pants and they
Mm.
bought their pants, and the best addition to their LTV would be like, oh, this belt works really well with their pair of pants. It's going to really match like this top that they had bought from the store like a month ago. And it's really pulling in, okay, what is this shopper's history with the brand? What is it, everything that they've done with the brand, all of their interactions? What are the times when they shop? Is it that they look at the site in the morning on their morning commute, but they only shop at, I don't know, 9 p.m. on the Thursday night, and it doesn't help to send an email 1 hour after their morning commute because they're at work? Like, understanding, okay, what are the behaviors of those shoppers? What are those shoppers really looking for? And how do we offer them like a very custom experience of like, okay, this is the coupon code they need to purchase. This is the email sent at the time they need to purchase with the exact products that they're looking for or could be relevant to them. And it's not magic. It's not like rock science, but
Yeah.
it's incredible to see like how much of that doesn't exist yet today.
You know what? I always think the creepier the marketing email, the better the marketing. Like, the more you know about me, the more I'm gonna want to explore your brand. But there's two types of consumers. There's the ones who get flattered, almost like, oh my God, they know that I was looking for this exact product. And then there's others who get really frustrated and annoyed and just hate it. So, from your experience dealing with consumers and pitching this product and also conducting all these paid ads, what are the reactions that you get? Like, what is the traction that you're able to identify? Are there any patterns or trends, any winners or killers? Like, I'm just curious to learn about your approach so far.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a take we get a lot, and I think that the big learning and the big remedy we have for a lot of brands is a scoring system that we have in place. That is, okay, this shopper looks a bit disorganized. They have a lot of things going on. They
Yeah.
constantly need more emails to make a purchase, and maybe that's like 5 emails. They're always opening, they're always clicking, but they're not taking action. That's a strong indicator that they're not like, oh, they're not just leaving the email unopened in their inbox. They're actually taking action. This is actually relevant to them. And it's always, okay, like these are products are relevant. We're keeping engagement high. Versus other shoppers, great, they only need one email. Either they purchase or they don't. But we know that for sure they're going to take action the moment they have this reminder. And a big result that we've had from spending so much on building the AI is, okay, we know exactly like the type of profile of shoppers that need more emails to convert versus other shoppers. Okay, well, 2 emails max. Otherwise, they're going to start hitting on the brands. And when we test it and once we pull those results, that's pretty fantastic to see. And so when we go to brands, like that's really the value we're offering of the AI knows a lot more of your shoppers and it knows those limitations of like this person wants more, this person wants less. And so it helps fix an actual big problem in D2C that is like a lot of shoppers are conservative. A lot of brands are conservative. They don't want to send too many emails with the fear of like some might hate it. But if you're able to distinguish between the two, you're actually solving for a lot of that audience.
You told me that paid marketing drives 80% of net new business at Instant. That's been driving massive double digit month of month growth. And that's unheard of at B2B SaaS companies. So I'm curious, how did you get there?
I think we got lucky. We got lucky in the early days of great. There's a really strong product. There's a really strong sales team. I think B2B SaaS is really particular in the sense that I think a lot of companies try to overdo it.
Yeah.
Very long sales cycles, very long like approach to value, very long onboardings. And in the D2C space, you really don't need that. Like the average time it takes to onboard Klaviyo to set up your flows or OmniSend is like 4 weeks. And for instance, like 30 minutes. The product is really quick to set up. You see really strong value. Our sales cycle is 2 days. The moment from contract to discussion is incredibly quick. There's very low risk. And I think the big pain point before marketing it instant in the US when they launched a little bit more than a year ago is, okay, we have great value, but nobody wants to book demos with us. Like nobody
Yeah.
cares. Nobody responds to outbound. And so how do we put like this value in an ad to take people to take action. And I think our first huge creative winner on Meta was one of the scammy looking breaking news ad from our CEO who's 21 and raised 18 million to revolutionize retention marketing. That was our first breakthrough ad. We closed more deals from Meta in April of last year than the entire Q1 before that. And it was like, wow, okay, we have good traction. And then 2 weeks later, one of our breakthrough brands, Heaven Mayhem, their case study unpaid, again, a breakthrough like win of like, okay, this is killing it. And from there, like we started instrumentalizing like, oh, we have 12 different ad categories that constantly win. How do we ship not 5 ads, not 10 ads a month, but like 100 that are like ads we really believe in, that are really strong? And how do we make it that no matter what learning we get from Meta, we're able to action it and launch it within like an hour? And I think it's that combination of like, okay, we have winning concepts, we've made winning a pretty strong habit, and we move incredibly fast, and that's how we got here.
I think speed is usually the number one factor of growth because the faster you move, the more you learn, the more you iterate, the more you fail and understand what works and what doesn't. So that's very interesting to hear your perspective. I also wanted to ask you because you were the first marketer on the team and now you're leading a team of 5. This is more of a question that I'm gonna like, I need this. But how do you go about hiring the best people, especially today? Like, it's market's pretty tough. Like, the best hires are in the best companies. So did you go about poaching others, or like what are your tricks?
Listen, you're probably going to resonate with a lot of this in the sense that marketing is a crowded space.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people here, and there are very few people that are really good.
yeah,
And I think a myth that we had in the beginning was, okay, let's just poach the best people from
yeah,
tech and let's bring them to instant and let's do it. And that didn't work because like the sales cycle is too long. They're used to not having as much attribution. Like if you're bringing in a lead that might or might not close 6 months from now, you really have very little ownership of the
mhm,
acquisition funnel. And truth is, like tech is very comfortable. Like it's higher salaries, it's lower hours than like people that are grinding in agency mindset and really like working across so many clients. And so agencies were a hack for us. We really aimed younger as well. I mean, our CEO is the youngest employee in the entire company, and that really drives a mindset of if you're willing to go all in, you're really good at your craft, you move incredibly quickly, and you demonstrate really high ownership, you're gonna win an instant. And the truth is, like that has been a big factor of growth. And if they don't work out, we we start again. I think that's
yeah.
something we do for sure.
I find that sometimes looking for startup energy or like soft skills rather than hard skills is the way to go about it because at the end of the day, you're going to learn as you go. Not a lot of people believe in this. I do because I've seen it. Like, I worked in startups for years, and it's usually the best people are, of course, okay, they need the skills, the track record, of course. Like, I'm not going to, throw that into the bin, but I think there's also a component of energy and mindset that not everyone has or not everyone is willing to work in a startup, and that's okay. I have one last question for you, and this is more like to understand how you perceive growth marketing today, and if you meet a marketer who's asking you what would you have done to get to where you are now that you wouldn't know at the time, like something you wish you knew before getting to this leadership position early in your career, what would that be? Like, I'm just curious.
That's such a good question. That's a question I used to ask a lot of my idols and marketing leaders. And I think for me, it's simply that people overdo it. There's so much fluff everywhere, and what is it really that drives like a track record and helps you be like successful in your career? And it's really the basics. Like growth marketing is incredibly simple as a function. It's a funnel. When do
Yeah.
people come in? What actions do they take? How do you get more people in? How do you fix one problem at a time so that you're constantly growing month over month and reducing your costs? And I think a lot of times people just go away from the funnel and it's like, oh, we're seeing that our CPMs are too high or our click through rate is too low on our ads. And like they're not really seeing or framing it in the bigger picture, or like, oh, we doubled their budgets, but yeah, you're actually reaching the same people just twice. And it's really understanding, like, no matter the pain point is, like, framing it back to basics, and the basics always work. I think a lot of people try to overcomplicate it.
That is true. The more you complicate it, the more it will be complicated. So that is actually a Tunisian say. We I'm just gonna say it in Arabic, even though not everyone's gonna understand. But it's صعبها تصعب سهلها تسهل, which means if you complicate things, they will be more complicated. But if you make them simple, they will be simpler. So just
I think that's just tagline of a startup. That's just that's just life at a
we
startup.
yeah, I feel like this is my motto. So yeah, thank you so much, Quentin, for joining me. It was great talking to you and learning more about your journey.
Great. Well, thanks for having me.